Okay, what's up, everybody? So, just gonna do a little recap here on today's trade. Had a couple of people ask me kind of why I took the trade, etc., etc. So, first and foremost, if you go to my last stream, my last live stream, you'll be able to scroll up to like 2 minutes and 15 or 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's when I start like talking about, okay, if this happens, I'm going to execute. So, real quick, I'm just going to hold on. Okay, I'm back. So another reason I wanted to pull this up real quick is because you can see what my chart looked like at that time. So if you scroll up to 2 hours, 15 minutes or so, you'll basically see what I was thinking about. If this happens, I'm going to enter, etc., etc. So basically what I was looking at is, okay, cool. We have, we had like a resistance that was forming here on 30 minutes. So this was about 9:30 a.m. that this was that I was recording this. So we're coming to the NYSE open, and so basically what I was looking at is, okay, cool. If price rejects or creates a top wick and breaks a low, I'm probably going to enter. The volume for the New York Stock Exchange should push through this BS back here and come down here to this target here. So that's kind of what I was thinking originally. That didn't really happen. So if you watch this video, you'll notice that price closed below. That's 15-minute. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so 30-minute, you'll see price closed below. It started to wick up. However, it's went a lot further than I was expecting it to go, and never broke the low. So it actually closed bullish there. I don't think I have any of that there, but it actually closed bullish there. And so there was just, I was just like, okay, cool, whatever it is, what it is. The 15-minute broke the high of the previous 15 minutes. So I basically told myself like, okay, cool, no trade. And I'll show you what that looked like. So that was this right here. So this was the 9:15 a.m. candle. This was the 9:30 a.m. candle. So this is the one that opened at 9:30. You can see the 15-minute broke the high. So I was like, whatever, no trade then. It is what it is. So, but I was looking at 30-minute and I was like, okay, cool. After this 9:30 candle closed, it was like 10 a.m. and I was like, okay, cool. So we're coming into London close. We should see another hit of volume here. So basically what happened is price came up, created a high here, created this top wick, and then it came down, and on my MT5 it actually broke the low here. It broke the low of the previous bullish candle here. So if you look closely, it just barely broke it, but on my MT5 it broke it pretty cleanly. And so I entered. I was like, whatever, this should continue down. I've seen this happen numerous times. Let's see if I can even find an example right here. So bearish, bullish, weak bullish, and then bearish, but specifically with the no wick on the bottom here, really, really, really high probability that if price comes up, creates a top wick, and comes down, breaks a low, it's going to continue bearish. And as you can see, this closed weak bearish, and I was like, huh, interesting. So I looked at 15-minute, and I was in the trade at this point. So I looked at 15-minute, and I was like, well, previous 15-minute closed strong bullish. The current 15-minute, the one that I'm trading closed strong bearish. I think I just said bullish. The current 15-minute that I'm trading closed weak bearish, but respected the high and it broke the low. So I'm going to say if it respects the high of this 15-minute candle, I'm going to stay in it. I'm not going to close any partials. I'm just going to trust that this is going to play out the way I want it to, because this is something that I've seen so many times. Not to mention, I knew, H1, we were coming into clean range down here, but most importantly, the 4-hour was like super clean candles here. We had this one little stir up, which is right around where my entry was, but other than that, super clean candles. So I was like, okay, cool. This should continue bearish. Oh, my dad's calling me. I'll call him back in a second. I was like, all right, cool. This should continue bearish. No problem. And so I was like, I'm going to stay in the trade as long as candles continue closing bearish and candles continue respecting highs and continuing down. So as you can see, I held on to it for a little bit. I was like, I don't really like this, but whatever. I got reduced risk, whatever. I'm just going to trust that it's going to play out. And then the low was broken, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I think we should be good. And you can see it continued down, and yeah, it took me to the happy land. So basically what I did is I secured around 20 pips or so. I secured 90%, and then I trailed my stop loss above 30-minute high, to continue down. So obviously my, stops were set at entry, then my stops were there, and then my stops were there, and then my stops were there, and as you can see, it broke. So that was like 70 pips in profit, 74 pips in profit that it was stopped out at. So ultimately, really, really, really amazing trade, really beautiful trade. And it just kind of came down to how I had my chart laid out at that time. So let me go back to here, 215. You'll see I have H4 resistance up here, H1 resistance right here, 30-minute resistance here. So all the resistances are continuing to move down. And then we have H1 support here, H4 support here, and then I think even further, yeah, I have 30-minute support here. So that started to tell me, okay, cool. Not only are the resistances continuing downward, we had daily resistance above. We had daily resistance up here, right here, and then we had H4 resistance. And so I was like, okay, cool. Not only are the resistances continuing to move down, but now the supports are too. The supports are starting to become lower than the higher time frame supports. So I was anticipating these support levels to turn into resistances on higher time frames in the future. And so that's kind of what happened on the 30-minute. Obviously, price came down, created a resistance here, and that was, this was a higher time frame support, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some context as far as how this trade was taken, how it was managed. I'm going to assume it's going to continue bearish. I mean, this was a nice little pullback to continue down. Still got pretty clean traffic over here. Obviously, this created clean traffic here. But yeah, and then obviously my tweet here at 10 a.m., this was when this candle closed, and I was like, okay, I've seen this a lot. Bearish, weak bullish with no bottom wick. If price comes up, creates a top wick, and breaks a low, I'm in there. No questions asked. And so that's where that tweet came from there. So hopefully this helps you out as far as how I took this trade. Do me a favor, like this video, comment with your thoughts. If you have any questions, comment them below. Subscribe to my channel, hop in my free Telegram community, and catch you on the flip side. Adios.